Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. In today's material, we'll spend just a few minutes talking about headaches and whether or not cats can have them. At a glance, it would be easy to say, yeah, why wouldn't they? However, there has been very little scientific research on this topic. Much of what we know is based on the human experience and how it could apply to felines. Before we take a look at this rather mysterious and complex subject, let's first take a look at today's topic overview. Cats get attention headaches, cluster headaches, and migraines. However, it's not easy to tell when a headache occurs. When a cat has a headache, it will hide its pain and seclude itself where it feels safe. The causes of headaches in cats include dehydration, heat exhaustion, trauma, and loss of appetite. Right out of the gate, we'll note that treatment for what is perceived to be a headache involves making sure that your cat is placed in a cool, quiet, and dimly lit environment with plenty of food and water that is easily accessible. If your cat is exhibiting worrisome symptoms such as prolonged lethargy and odd behavior that is somewhat going against your cat's known and natural personality, please take your cat to the vet as soon as possible. The issue could go far beyond that what is being believed to be just a common headache. With so little to go on, it's wise to have your cat evaluated by a trained professional. Before we take a look at today's first video subsection, a quick shout out, as always, to the best viewers on the feline wing of the internet, and that would be each and every one of you. Thank you so much for making Senior Cat Wellness what it is today. You are our foundation, and none of this would be possible without you. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. It is our mission to serve the feline community and do it with a kind heart and a smile. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us, and we do hope to see you again in future content. Now, let's talk about cats and headaches and see what we can uncover about this very interesting and somewhat unique topic. Because there isn't a single specific thing to point to that can identify a headache from a visual standpoint in respect to your cat's behavior, the concept that felines do get headaches is largely based on assumption. We know that cats are experts when it comes to masking pain. From our perspective, this can really muddy the waters as to what your cat is truly ailing from. The most simplistic type of definition for any type of headache in felines would involve any sort of pain or discomfort in any region of the head. The headaches, generally speaking, that cats likely experience either fall in one of the following categories. Here again, the water is quite muddy when it comes to this topic. The categories are primary or secondary. While that can seem rather simplistic, let's take a closer look. Primary headaches are what we would refer to as simple and common headaches, sort of like when you would perhaps get a headache if you were to stare at a computer screen for too long, not unlike not unlike what I do here at Senior Cat Wellness. Most folks would deem that to be a common headache. Secondary headaches can be more concerning, a bit more concerning, especially with respect to your cat, due to the obvious communication barrier. The presence of a secondary headache implies that some other means of trauma or health ailment is causing the issue. While they can also be harmless, they are certainly more complex. As an example, your cat could be experiencing a headache due to a urinary tract infection or some type of other virus or disease within the body. As we mentioned in our introduction, research is lacking when it comes to the specific topic of felines and headaches. However, because so much research has been performed on our side of things, on the human side of the equation, many of these same associations can be concluded. Let's take a look example. One of the examples we could look at is of the many types of headaches. Let's focus in on tension headaches. Cats can get what we would deem to be a tension headache due to potential dehydration, exhaustion, and squinting, maybe from bright lights or the sun, and a lack of food consumption. I think we can all relate to perhaps if you haven't eaten in several hours, getting some sort of a dizziness or a fainting, the feeling that you're going to faint, and some type of headache due to lack of meals or a meal or a snack. Again, this is not unlike what we would experience, as our tension headaches are often brought on for many of the same reasons that were just listed. The same conclusion can be made for what is known as cluster headaches as well as migraines. With respect to some of the most notable causes as it relates to headaches in general, in addition to the subtypes, cats can suffer from headaches due to the aforementioned dehydration, heat exhaustion, tumors. That would be obviously a major red flag, secondary concern. in respect to the headache itself, that it's being caused from something more significant, and the headache isn't as what we would refer to as sort of standing alone. Lack of a proper diet, trauma to the head, face, and neck region, and collars. This is a bit, maybe not something you would think would make the list, but if the cat's collar is too tight, this can cause tension in the neck and perhaps some head or neck pain that could lead to a headache. Before we conclude this rather little bit different, somewhat of a conversational type of a video, if you haven't been able to tell by my delivery here, because it's a little bit all over the place because the topic is not as pinned down as some others. This is a very unique topic, and on a personal level, one what I would love to see this topic explored a bit more. That communication barrier is can be so critical because if any one of us were to have just a mild headache from working a long day, we could just say, "Hey, I've just got a headache from I've been reading too much or whatever." But with your cat, there's a lot of missing space there because they can't really tell us. So, is the headache primary or is it secondary? And if it's secondary, it could be from a number of issues. Some can be quite serious. It's important to note that cats can suffer from a host of nasal and sinus issues, and this includes a headache. I'm sure many of us can relate to this ailment. If you have sinus issues, you certainly know that a sinus headache can be quite painful and annoying, and it can certainly ruin your day. Based on what we do know about felines, it's more than fair to conclude that cats, especially outdoor felines, probably have their own share of sinus issues and those sinus headaches. And on that note, as we always do, that will wrap things up for the video portion of today's material. A little bit different than what we're used to, just a little bit change of pace. However, if you would like to know more about the topic of headaches, and if your cat could be suffering, please be sure to head on over to seniorcatwellness.com at the conclusion of today's presentation. There you will find a highly detailed article concerning everything that we've talked about here today and so much more, including how you can potentially tell if your cat has a headache. We hope you find our written content to be informative, and you can read it at your leisure by simply clicking the initial link, and it's found right there in the description box below. And once again, if you enjoyed what we brought to the table here today and would like to see and hear more, please like and share this video and subscribe to the SeniorCatWellness.com official YouTube channel. It would be so greatly appreciated. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we would like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.